Hey YG Nation, it's Haroon here. We're with Taz Boucher in Castle Downs. She's running to be your mayor in this upcoming election on October 16th. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too, Haroon. Thank you for asking to do an interview with me.
For sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run.
Well, a little bit about myself. I am an Indigenous woman to Canada, First Nations to this land, Métis by blood. I'm Sioux, Navajo, Cree, and Scottish. And that in itself is a multicultural lifestyle. I would say even the way I think and the way I operate includes all those dynamics, all those past backgrounds, those bloodlines. But the reason I decided to run was because people asked me to. Various peoples from various wards, various peoples from various cultures, various races, various ages asked me to run. And at first I thought they were all joking, and I didn't take them seriously. And I was going to run for Ward 6, which I had ran in for previously, and decided that, well, there's so many asking me to run in all the wards, and they started planting a seed in my head. We would like it if you would be mayor. Wouldn't that be something? Think about it, Taz. Give it some thought. And then, so I am a person of prayer. I did spend some time in reflection, and then came back and said, you know what? You're asking me to do something to serve the people in a bigger way. I can do that. I will do that. But I need your support in doing that, and I need you to be part of the campaign. So people have been very helpful in the campaign.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I mean, we might as well touch on this right away, but, you know, you have a very diverse background. You know, you're a woman, and we're trying at Ag Nation we're also trying to get women out to participate in municipal politics. The same with people of different cultural backgrounds. So, I mean, what have you done in the past, and what are you doing to, you know, push that mandate a little forward?
Well, you know, as a woman, I've experienced many things over the years, and broke through made some headway in this city particularly. Having lived here for 53 years, I'm one of the first Indigenous women to ever drive for ETS in Edmonton, breaking ground through a male-oriented employer. And I'm glad to see there's multiple types of women of various races and various cultures driving ATS these days. And I look at that and I give myself a little pat in the back and say, wow, years ago I had no idea that the crap I took and had to have a thick skin about and going into a male-oriented industry at that time was going to end up in resulting in so many women being able to work in that field. And I think that as a woman, it's important that I represent the younger people, the younger girls as well, and having a voice and being able to say to them, you know what, you can achieve anything in life. Don't let your gender be the issue, and don't make it your platform. And instead, make it your power, your place of power. As a woman, I says we can handle multitasking very well. There's many things that we can do that I think that contribute to being able to effectively work in various occupations. There's some occupations, of course, that require more male strength, I believe, and I think we have to pay due diligence to that because our muscles are not as big as some men. But there's women I've met who are strong women, and I go, okay, that just threw that theory right out the window in my head. So I've had to learn how, even as a woman, what does this mean, and having the door wide open, and that women can do whatever is presented to them. If there's a will, there's a way. I truly believe that. And part of the thing with running for mayor is the politics for women is different than the politics for men, because again, we're entering into male-dominated field, and in this dominated field, the women unfortunately suffer a lot of. I personally, I know I have suffered an awful lot of hatred. A lot of people, you know, putting me down because not only being Indigenous, but being a woman, and threats from men. Not so much threats that I could charge them in such a way. They keep it in such a way that they don't cross the line where they can be charged, but you know that's implied threat, and they don't like the idea of an Indigenous woman running.
That's really sad to hear, actually. I'm glad that you're trying to make it, you know, trying to put your face out there and make it easier for the women the next women who want to run and want to participate in municipal politics to, you know, to have at least a role model to look to, and that's actually really nice to hear. Actually, let's get to talking about some of the issues in the city. So, I mean, what are some of the things that you see are the biggest problems in the city of Edmonton, and how do you plan to tackle those in the next 4 years?
Well, presently, the current really crisis happening right now is this winter is coming up and the homelessness are still homeless. The chronic homeless I'm speaking about. Not the, there's, when we talk about the word homeless, there's this wide scope of homelessness, meaning there's students, who can't find affordable housing, and they're couch surfing, or they're staying with friends or family. There are senior citizens who've lost their income and can't afford now to live where they're living, so they become homeless. They're couch surfing, and I've bumped across a few of them at my campaign, and it's disheartening. But as winter approaches, my mind is truly on those who are on the streets. Last year, we lost a few to the winter season, and they froze on the streets. And if you sit in the any emergency ward during the winter time, you'll see they come in with frozen fingers, frozen toes, and frozen noses, frozen skin, and that's unacceptable to me. And there's no reason for that. And we can't keep band-aiding this and thinking the solution is to open up the LRT stations and let them warm up there and be there to sleep. We need to house these people immediately. And there's places that can be done that immediately. After becoming mayor, that'll be one of my prioritizing, something I will prioritize, because I do not want one single person freezing to death this winter.
So one of the things we're trying to do at YEG Nation is we're trying to get young people out to vote. October 16th, guys, don't you forget it. Go out and vote. Make a difference.
Make a difference.
Yeah, that's true, right? It's making a difference.
Every vote counts. Every vote counts.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is your vote is your voice. And if you think that it doesn't matter, you're sadly mistaken. It does matter. If you don't vote, in silence you condone the status quo of what's going on. You cannot complain about what's going on if you don't voice your opinion. And your opinion is your vote. Your thought is your vote. And to manifest something different, a change in what we want, especially for the younger people, this is, it's not for my generation that I'm running so much as I am for the younger people. I have children, grandchildren, and I think about those young people and what I'd like to see in Edmonton for them, what I'd like to be built. And I know that I would want it to be a multicultural inclusion and really be something that has diversity and embraces diversity in all forms, whether it be gender or culture or race or in any capacity, because really, this is what this country is built on. It's built on diversity. And Edmonton has an amount of people that are so diverse, and yet that's not seen when you look at City Council as it sits right now, Mayor and Council. What you do see is 13 people who are sitting in suits, and I don't see myself represented there. I can only speak for myself when I say this, and I don't see other cultures represented there. Therefore, our voices are not being heard, and therefore our children and our grandchildren are not being looked after in that capacity. So when I'm speaking on behalf of my children. My culture teaches me to think 7 generations. Right now I'm just thinking the next generation in this vote. The next generation 18 and over. Go vote. It's very important. This is the grassroots level making decisions, and those who sit in those chairs make the final decisions of what affects your daily lives here in Edmonton.
That was really powerful. Thank you for saying that. And we've been saying that over and over, guys. So yeah, go out and vote October 16th. It only takes like 30 minutes. You can do it. So I guess we're going to wrap up here a little bit. So if there's any last words you want to say to our audience at YEG Nation, the floor is yours.
Well, I would like to say that Edmonton has always been to me a place of inclusion, a place that came together when people are in crisis. For example, the tornado, everybody came to place. When the fires took place, Edmonton was a wonderful place of giving. I would like to see that expand and given to each other as a community, and having that representation on city as a mayor, and being able to bring all those cultures together in a really harmonious way, and having that representation on council. So please do go out and vote. You young people, your voice matters. It really does matter, because you're the up-and-coming leaders, and you're the ones that are going to be affected by whatever decisions are made today.
Awesome. So it was a pleasure meeting you, Taz.